All right, this time we're going to work on this 1963 C10. We're going to do a C-notch. We're going to do some air ride stuff. We're going to get it sitting low because this is entirely too high off the ground. Looks a lot better now. Stick around and see how we get it done. We're gonna go out to the barn. We're gonna get the 63 out, 63 C10 LS swap, and we're gonna cold start it. It's brutally cold out right now. The wind's ripping. Let's see if we can get this thing started up. It's been a few months. I'm gonna do a cold start on this old 63 pickup truck. It ain't been started in a few months. Pretty much guaranteeing you the battery's gonna be dead, because this summer she went dead on me a few times. New trellis. Oh, sounds good. Nope, she dead. All right, let's throw a jump box on it. All right, round two with the jump box. Neutral. Come on. Pump, pumpity pump. Alrighty. Alright. Oh shit. Didn't have a clutch in all the way. This one's a little different than the 35. Now I gotta wiggle this thing out without hitting anything. It is tight, tight, tight. Got her up in the shop here. She's just a loyal old girl, man. She loves to run. Every once in a while the battery. I think the battery terminals are loose, so I'll tighten them up. She's just loyal. The suspension, factory suspension. It's got cut coils in the front, and in the back I got airbags in place of the coils. So what I'd like to do on this video is C-notch the back, because where I like it to ride is about right here. And where it rides right here, if I hit a bump, it bottoms out. I can't C-notch it a lot, or the diff ends up hitting to the bed, but I can get it where it'll sit down a lot lower than it is. And if we get enough time, I do have some airbags that I'd like to throw in the front. I don't have valves or any of that fancy stuff, but I can plumb it, and throw some air in it, make it look cool, and go up and down with the shop air. This, I got at the junkyard. I don't know what kind of pipe. I don't know what. It's not a cast. That's all I know about it. I did, when I first got it, try to beat on it and try to bend it or break it. If it was gonna break, I wanted it to know, so I beat the crap out of it with a big hammer, and all it did was dent it, which is perfect. And it did take quite a bit to get it dent. So what'll probably happen is this is gonna get cut here and here. Cut it over, cut it up, and then that'll just be the C. Let's see how much room I got. I'm gonna let the suspension all the way down on the truck and see how far underneath I can go on the frame. Yeah, a little mark right there. And that is where this is touching this. And you don't want that. So what I need to do, cut this section out. There's actually double frame in here, so I can cut both sections of frame out, knock this little bump stop section off, and probably clean up my wonderful temporarily permanent airbag mount. So 2.5 roughly inches, and we've got, I don't know if you can see, but it's 5 inches to the top of the diff. So I can do a 3-inch C-notch, 2.5, and then 3. That'll give me 5.5, which will put this missing that stuff up there. Maybe it'll hit the bed first, and that's okay. As long as it just touches it. I can always add a bump stop over here somewhere if I need to. So let's get all the loud noise tools and the hot torches and all that stuff out and start. That's gonna do it for me tonight. It's pretty late. I started really late. But you can see this side didn't go as well as the other side. The other side looks freaking beautiful. This side, I got a little out of control with the torch, but it works pretty good. I just tried to set it down and the freaking drive shaft's hitting. So I gotta cut more of the cross member out for the drive shaft. Hopefully I didn't just bend the drive shaft, putting all the weight on the drive shaft. All right, it's a new day today, and we're working on the C-notch still. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna do some cleaning up on the inside of the frame, outside of the frame. And so this is the C-notch, and what I think I wanna do is add a little kicker that comes out, and I can weld here, and I can weld on the frame. I've got the C-notches all welded in on the outside. I still got to weld the inside. But that's basically what it looks like. Both sides. I'm gonna clean it up some with the grinder and get it painted up, weld the inside up, bolt everything back together, and go for a test drive. Let's check the other side out here. Probably can't see nothing because of the light. But same thing. That was exciting. Thought I was gonna die from that. All right, there they are. Those C-notches installed, fully welded. Good to go. My shocks are a little long. I might just disconnect them and I can get at least a picture of them. Let me tell you about this thing. So this truck was mine originally when I would turn 16. It was my grandfather's truck before that. I actually didn't get the truck until I was in my late 20s when it was actually my possession, even though it was mine. He just drove it around sometimes, and it sat, and it got damp, and things just started rusting on it. Originally, the truck's from Colorado, so the frame and everything's pretty good, but it did get into salt, and it did get drove. We used to take it hunting, and it just started showing its age. And the motor had a really bad rear main leak. I mean, it was really bad. The motor was wore out. It still drove. You still cruise 55 in it. It was just wore out. Now, it started hearing some noises, and I decided, oh, if I'm going to do anything, I want to put a little bit more modern motor and trans in it and make it a little bit more reliable, friendly to cruise. You know, if I need to take it 3 hours away, I can jump in and go. So I found on Marketplace used 2500 HD two-wheel drive with the manual. Cheap, stupid cheap, because the guy had taken the clutch and blew it through the floor somehow. Exploded the bell housing. It went all the way through the floor, cut the wiring harness, so it wouldn't move. So I went down there, grabbed a tow truck, had it sent to the house, stripped the motor and trans out of it. It's got a new bell housing, but the same transmission, same motor. Did nothing to either one except put a bell housing, clutch, and flywheel on here. And then on the motor, well, so the trans is NV4500, two-wheel drive. The motor is a LQ9, LQ4, whatever it is, 6-liter base factory motor. Nothing done to it except intake. That's it. I put a carburetor intake from Holley on it, and I Brawler carburetor on it. Runs great, no problems. Starts bump the key, starts up even if it's super cold. I just cold started it. The only thing it needed was the battery started or jump started. I do need to put a fan shroud on here because if it's super hot and you're going slow, it does heat up a little bit. Not hot, just gets warm. And then the body panels, since it was showing its age and I was getting rust, the dog legs had started rusting out. The hood, since I had it when I was a kid, before we got it, the hood right here was smashed all the way in and it had a horrible Bondo job from when I was a kid. So I decided I'd be on the lookout for a bunch of body panels. So over the past 10 years or so, I started acquiring decent body panels. None of them are perfect. They're all from the 60s. There's no repop stuff in it. It's all 1960s original metal. Just what I wanted. There's nothing wrong with repop stuff. I just wanted original. So every fender, hood, door, everything on this thing's original from the 60s. This side's pretty good. The other side's got the rear fender's kind of banged up. I just like the old tailgates, why it's still on there. I do have a better one, don't have dents. But this one I body worked it pretty heavily, try to get it straight. It looks good on camera, but it's not perfect. All right, what else? And then the paint, it was primered in red and black and blue and yellow and every other color that the fenders were. So I just wanted to drive it, and I didn't want to do a real paint job on it yet because the body work's not done. And I'm lazy and I hate doing body work. So I just said, I'm gonna spray it black and maybe show a little patina through it. And that's what it is. It's been like this for a couple years now. I recently put a wood bed in it. You can see it down there. It's full of trash right now. I got the wood from the Amish, stained it myself, cut it myself, bolted it all in. Looks pretty good. On to the front. So what I ended up doing is I took the front shocks off and I added them to the back. It might be a little short, but it keeps my bag from getting overstretched. And the shocks are probably wore out. I think they were put on there in 94, if they were even done in 94. They're not the greatest shocks. The back ones were good. So what I need to do is, the only shocks that I have without spending $75 a shock, which is mind-blowing to me that a shock costs that much, is I'm gonna take this, I'm gonna mount this in the same spot that the old shock was in, There used to be a stud right here. It came out and the shock mounted in, you know, like sideways. This kind had a bolt and it went in just like that. So these are some random, I think they're off a C10. I don't know, but I have them. They're free. So all I gotta do is I'm gonna build me a bracket and get some shock bushings. And I'm gonna put this right there. And then the airbag is gonna be, I'm gonna make a plate. I'm gonna plate this off right here, maybe slightly down inside so the bag will be able to let the suspension go all the way down. And then up in here, there's already a hole. I'll drill a hole up in this and be able to hold the top of the bag in place. Have the airline should, yeah, the airbag will run right down through there, airline. And that should give me airbags in the front. Because at the moment, the front actually goes down quite significantly farther than the back does. I mean, if I had I got two 35s in the back. If there were two 35s in the front, they'd be touching the inner fender up here. But I have two 15s, so I got 1.5 inches or so a gap with the suspension all the way up. So really all we're gonna need to do this project here, airbag, some plate steel, little spacer I'm gonna use, the welder, grinder, drill, and that's pretty much it. Oh, I need some round tubing, and I'll go get that. So basically, let's see if we can get some light down in here. Flat plate for the bottom and the top. This is a 63, so the shocks are on the outside, not in the pocket. So I torched that hole right there for the bolt to come up through. I have to build a little spacer so that sits down straight when you bolt it down. Next thing I'm gonna have to do is cut a hole. Need to cut a hole over here so I have the airline come out, because it comes out the side right there. So, and I'll mark all this stuff where it goes and drill some holes and have it mounted up and be on the air. Was I welded that plate, drilled a hole in the center of it for the airbag to bolt to. The top had the cups in it already, and then up in top, just kind of that in there. But there's a little bit of a spacer and then the washer nut on the top stud, and that's it. Super simple. I just made sure that it was as center as I could get it in the spring cup. And that's it. And ran some airline. It's going up here. It's just temporary. I'm gonna throw some tires on it, get it on the ground, air it up, let it sit down a few times. So I was getting ready to go take this thing for a test drive, but I had the air cleaner off. So I went and throw it back on, and the screw is gone. And I'm looking all over, trying to find it. I don't remember taking it off. But look right there. I mean, I started this thing up I don't know how I got that lucky. Fish it out of there and be happy I didn't go down in the intake. Try this again. Maybe this time the other tire again. I think that time. All right, I want to thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys could learn something from this. C-notch works out perfect. The airbags in the front are working really good. I am filthy. I still got to get the box controller thing so I can finish doing the air install on it, but it goes up and goes down. I drove it down the road, everything works good on it. It's got a little spot in the front end that it kind of sticks on, so I'll check that out. But for now, it'll run and drive and move around. It'll smoke the tires off one at a time. See right there, it's still pretty smoky in here. My lungs actually a little burny. Sweet. So, thanks for watching. Catch you on the next one.